Confidence is not something you either have or you don't. It is actually something that you build. It is not a personality trait, it's a practice. And today I want to hand you the actual practice. And this is part one of two-part series because there is a lot to talk about, a lot to share with you, and I do not want to rush into it. So today we are going inwards. We are going to see the foundation. And next week we will go outwards. Next week it's going to be about your relationships, your boundaries, and your identity. If you're new here, I'm Dipa, a transformational coach and energy healer, and I help you deconstruct all parts that you've been carrying and that were never meant to be yours from the beginning. I help you to reconnect with your inner world and be unshakable and step into your full power. All right, let's get into it. First part of the two series. The first part is about your nervous system. Your nervous system decides before your mind even realizes. And what no one tells you about confidence is that it is not just a mindset, it is a state your body has to be able to hold. Think about the difference between a day where you slept well, moved your body, and felt completely grounded, compared to a day where you are running on 4 hours of sleep or little hours of sleep that you need, and everything feels just like too much. I mean, same person, same goals, but completely different capacity to feel confident. And that is no coincidence because when your body is dysregulated, when you feel completely wired, exhausted, anxious, or constantly bracing for the next thing to arrive, you don't have access to the steadiest, clearest part of yourself. You are, in these cases, reacting and operating from survival instead of truth. So before we get into that mindset work, I want you to ask yourself and respond to this honestly. Is your nervous system even in a place to hold confidence right now? When you've asked yourself that question and answered honestly, here are now some signs that your nervous system is not in the right place to hold more confidence or even a bit of confidence. If you have trouble calming down at night, feeling triggered for no clear reason, snapping easily, or that low hum of I'm always a little bit behind, a little bit too much, if that's you, then just know that you're not broken, there's nothing to fix, and you're not lacking discipline. You are probably just dysregulated. And the fix here is not more willpower, it is just rhythm, and this is something you can achieve. It is in the capacity of being able to let yourself feel fully and let yourself be. And I know that structure can sound rigid, specifically if you feel that your nervous system already is overstimulated. So, this here is not about a strict schedule, but it is about giving your day a shape loose enough so that you allow yourself to breathe in and steady enough to hold you. Like, for example, a good grounding practice in the morning, a wind down practice at night before going to bed, something that your body can rely on, even when your mind is loud. A good practice for this, when people tell me they feel so on edge and dysregulated, if they cannot sit down and sit still and meet all parts of themselves, a good thing to bring that safety back into their body is, for example, to dance like 3 minutes of like high shaking or good dance, and then just focusing on your body sensations. This already will help you ground a bit. The second piece, I want you to notice something you're probably doing without even realizing, and this is all about rehearsing failure. It's about running the worst case scenario on a loop in your head, imagining the conversation going badly before you've even had the conversation. Talking to yourself like you've failed already the next step you wanted to achieve. Talking to yourself like you've already lost it. And the most important thing is that your inner world doesn't know the difference between something you are imagining or something that is actually happening. Whatever you are going to replay becomes the groove that your mind defaults to. So if the loop you're running all day in your mind is, this probably won't work, or I will mess it out completely, you are most probably already training yourself for failure and definitely putting yourself into full insecurity mode. So in that case, there is no space for confidence. And it's not because you're weak, it is just because this is how our mind works. It strengthens whatever gets repeated. That is why we say what you think you become. And this is also why we say, careful what you wish for. Here is a practice. If you catch yourself doing that, don't try to just think positive. Instead, ask yourself, would I ever speak to someone I love that way? That is a practice that I do with my clients, is always reminding them to talk to themselves as if they were talking to the person they love the most, to their best friend, to the kid. And it's like, would you say this to your closest friend? I'm sure you wouldn't. You would meet them with kindness, you would meet them with softness, you would meet them with love and gentleness. And you would probably say, okay, this happened, but now what is the next right step that you can do to move on? And that is exactly the energy that your mind needs and is asking you for when you want to tap into your self-confidence. On the flip side, when you've asked yourself this, start rehearsing the version where it goes right. Not a delusional, forcing it way. Just give your imagination equal time in both directions and choose the bright side. The thing is, like, most of us have spent years over rehearsing failure and collapse. And most of the time, people are more used to hear, this is not going well, this is going to fail. And when other people ask you, how are you? Or how is that project going? And if you're like, oh, it's going great and it's amazing, or I'm super happy, people would be even more surprised seeing you succeed than fail. Because it's a complete programming that we've been on for years and years. Now it is time to break that cycle and rehearse becoming the bright side. That is the solution-driven mind you can start to develop for yourself. And it always starts within, both ways, and from you. And this is also where mirror work comes in. If you have not tried it, I would encourage to do that. Stand in front of the mirror, look at yourself, meet your eyes, and say something kind, true to yourself, and mean it when you say it. And if you don't want to say anything, if this feels too difficult for you to start with, then I encourage you to just look in the mirror and just breathe a few seconds looking at yourself in that mirror. This will increase your confidence. When you do that, it is not out of pride, it is actually recalibration. It is you helping yourself to see yourself with new eyes, with new ways. You see yourself through years of story, memory, and belief layered on top of the image you see on the mirror. And mirror work is one of the fastest way to start editing that story from the inside. If you say them and your body don't believe it, you're not doing anything wrong. So I would say, if you're having a hard time to fully embody those affirmations, like for example, go for a walk, dance, like I said before, shake it out, do anything that gets you out of your head first. And then speak the words while your body is already feeling good and energized. And when you do that, you will see how these affirmations will land completely differently. And now we have the third section. It is all about building evidence. What do I mean by that? Almost everyone I work with is sitting on a mountain of proof that they are capable and giving themselves credit for none of it. If that's you, I would encourage to do that homework. Sit down and actually write the list. Write down on one sheet of paper, bullet points, all the things you've survived, all the things that you thought you would never be able to accomplish, and then you did it. Everything you've built, every single version of the past you who didn't think would make it, that did. One of my clients I worked with did that sheet of paper, call it her own personal resume, put all her achievements, big, small, it doesn't matter, all of them, and she put it inside of her bathroom. So every time she goes there, she sees it, and this is a reminder for her. And this is a really good reminder for you that you have done already hard things, that you can handle what's coming next. But evidence isn't only looking backwards. The best way for you is like, you do that list, you have looked backwards, prove to yourself that you can do it. And now it's building towards the version of you that decide that you can still do it and go beyond that fear. Because when you do that, little by little, small actions, you send the message before you feel ready. You show up to the room, you speak the sentence out loud. And in that way, confidence is not only remembered, it is built in real time. One small, brave action at a time. And when you will do that small, brave action, don't rush past it. Pause and let it count. Let it sit in that sheet of paper about your achievements. And like my mentor always told me, it's about feeling the fear and doing it anyway. Now, the fourth piece and the last piece for today is very simple, is to take care of your body. Take care of your vessel. Not from a place of punishment, but from a place of respect. Move it, rest it when it needs, get the haircut, put the outfit that makes you feel good. And this is not shallow, because your body is the vessel this whole journey happens through. And it responds when it's been taken care for and respected. And I would encourage in that sense to also get curious. What specific things make you feel most like you? Not what you think should work, but what actually does. So make that list of things that make you feel more like you in your body, and then do more of it. You will see how your confidence will start to shift more and more, step by step. That is your foundation here. first part of a 2 segment about being confident, being a badass in confidence. You have regulate, you have stop rehearsing failure and collapse, building evidence, and taking care of the vessel you are living in. Next week, part 2, is going to be about going outwards. If this resonated with you, give us a like, please, and tell us in the comments which piece you're starting with today and where you guys are tuning in from. I myself, for the moment, am in Belgium, in Brussels. And don't forget, hit the subscribe button, turn the notifications on so that you don't miss any content from Lights of Dipa. Everything here is made to help you be your best version, feel unshakable, and step into your full inner power. And new episodes are out every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. I'll see you in the next one. Take care, and I send you love and light wherever you are in the world and in your life.